what visual and voice, it's very important because it lends you credibility. And I'm a huge continuity person.
Mhm.
Brand continuity is very important because it lends you the institution credibility. People look at it and they not only do they recognize it as WSU Tech. There's no confusion there.
Welcome to Tech Talk with WSU Tech. I'm Dr. Sherry Utash, and I'm so happy to have you on the show today to share some time with Shawn Money. And I am thrilled to have you, and I want you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the role that you are playing at WSU Tech.
All right. Well, happy to be here. Thank you. Shawn Money, I'm the manager of creative services, which is the, technical title. And I assist our senior creative director and marketing strategist with kind of everything and anything. So help manage design and production on projects from start to finish. And also, we have a new visual designer on the team, so I help manage her and work with her. So it's everything from brainstorming and strategy to execution and production on anything production-wise there. Mostly print and that type of stuff and some web and design, but I get to help out the video crew a little bit sometimes with graphics and social media as well.
So I think you were in agency work, correct?
Yes.
What drew you from agency work to WSU Tech?
I think first and foremost, I spent a lot of time in the agency world, which I loved that. But I later in my career, I got a little taste of what it was like to work in-house at another company, and I loved that. It was, I guess, that part of in-house itself. It was the creative team is part of the brand. They eat, drink, sleep, just live it all the time, and I love that. And, when you work in the agency world, you are working on lots of different brands, lots of different brand identities, and you don't get to, I guess, learn the nuances, the ins and outs. And I feel like that when an in-house team can really help, it makes better creative, and you can actually, I think, work more efficiently and stuff too. And I don't know, I love that. That's in-house, but I was looking for a place that had a great culture, and the reputation of WSU Tech had kind of preceded itself. And when an opening came available, I thought this is it. It's both things. So they've got a great in-house team, and I like this place. I love their mission, and I'd like to be a part of that.
So I'm going to push just a little bit. Tell me what you were hearing out there about that. You said it was the culture. What were you hearing in the agency world about the culture at WSU Tech that kind of raised your curiosity?
Well, I think my experience with it too was seeing the creative work, but also some of the other creatives that I've worked with who I know, I don't want to drop names, but I know one of the companies or advertising agencies we work with or design studios, Bill Gardner, and he was kind of a mentor for me. I worked for him when I was first out of college, and I had a little bit of an inroad to here through that and knowing that, but just other people, and I don't know, it just was kind of word on the street. It wasn't specific. I didn't know anybody who worked here.
That's what I was curious about.
Yeah, it was more just as I dove a little deeper and did research and kind of looked at that, you could see it. I felt like it was evident, and anyway, it was exciting.
So part of what you do is you take huge, big ideas, and those could be ideas that are provided to you, or you come up with. Somebody says, "Hey, I need this," and then you take it and figure out how to do it.
Yes.
So, how do you take those strategies, create them into visuals that people can connect with?
Right. Multiple ways. The nice thing, we have a leg up. Another reason I love the in-house is that teams understand the company culture already and our voice and who our target audience is. And so we start off, hit the ground running there, which helps. But for those bigger projects, I think part of my personal view is I always go analog before digital. I like to iterate as well. So ideation and collaboration, those are huge for me. So no matter how small or big the project is, that's where I want it to start. I kind of want to see pencil on paper and sketches and thumbnails before we go to the screen or before we design. That's
Sure.
because you can solve problems really quick and know what you can and can't do sometimes pretty quick out of the gate before you even go that way. So that's one strategy. Another one would be just simplicity. Break it down, more visuals. Show, don't tell. Our mind and eyes, we kind of decipher images a lot quicker than words,
Mhm.
and especially with advertising like a billboard or a social media post or an print ad, it's got to be a quick hit. So if you can break that stuff down into digestible chunks, but keep it simple, and then we get into the weeds with design, visual hierarchy, and that stuff. Where you guide the viewer's eye where you want to, want them to go. But anyway, I think that's it. Just break it down, and I'll kind of approach everything the same way. Whether it's a large mural that we just finished working on or a print ad, it's just what are we trying to say here? Who is the target audience? And yeah, just divide it.
So brand is super important.
Mhm.
But for many that may be watching today,
Yeah.
maybe they don't really understand the significance of brand.
Right.
So you want to talk a little bit about that and then
Mhm.
talk to us about the WSU Tech brand.
Right. I think a brand, what visual and voice, it's very important because it lends you credibility. And I'm a huge continuity person.
Mhm.
Brand continuity is very important because it lends you the institution credibility. People look at it and they not only do they recognize it as WSU Tech. There's no confusion there, but it just I think that consistency is very important.
Tell me how you personally would describe WSU Tech's brand today.
Right. I think when I first looked at the brand and kind of was digging into the social media feeds and the website itself, it was, innovation, I know is a word we use a lot, but it really was forefront. I was looking at all these programs and all the capabilities and areas of study. And it's still something now as an employee here, I want to enroll in every class. So I have like a new program, like I'd like to do that. I think that would be fun. It's exciting.
Mhm.
So definitely the innovation, but also I guess capability came to mind too. And besides things like energy, which is just an energetic brand, very positive, but I just loved that innovation and the capability. And it just seemed like you guys, the credibility and I guess connection with would be another word, with the industries, the local industries too. That was obvious. And I don't know, those were some of the keywords I think that popped to mind at first, but definitely energy and innovation was something that,
So it's hard to build a brand.
right.
It takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to lose a brand,
Right.
correct?
Yes.
As we look forward to the next few years, how do we continue from the
Mhm.
work that you do to continue to build that brand, sustain that brand, increase that brand?
Right. I think again, it's just I'll lean back into that consistency and the, and just keeping true to the brand, visual identity, visual standards. Those are guardrails, and it's nice to have them, but doesn't mean you always stay within them completely. We're in a unique situation too with the affiliation that some of our
Mhm.
brand guidelines are inherited.
Sure.
And so that's a unique situation too. But we want to, you know, I guess be beholden to those a little bit, but not let that totally define us. We're our own thing within that. So I think one of my as I have arrived here and worked with the team over the last year and a half, I'd really like to be able to push that a little bit. We've taken some of our brand identity elements and revitalize them or use them in different ways. So I think that helps distinguish us a little bit too. But you always want to stay true to that voice and just consistent with the visuals. It doesn't mean you can't experiment with that. So because I say that about staying consistent. Like our website has the same voice, but it's a different tone, I guess would be a word to say. Website is, customer facing, or the student is looking at that, where our social media, it has the same voice, but it's a different tone where it's maybe a little more light, and so you're still reaching those audiences, but in a little bit different way, but you're still representing WSU Tech. So, anyway.
So I was watching you yesterday.
Yeah.
I had the great opportunity to witness a piece of work that you've been working on quite a while
Yeah.
come to
Mm-hmm.
full circle. So I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you what were the exciting things about that project? What were the challenges? And what did you feel like when this all came together yesterday? I just from the standpoint of where you started with this project, and I know it was kind of a long one, challenges, what was exciting, exhilarating
Right.
about it, and how did you feel
Oh yeah.
looking at that yesterday?
It was an amazing feeling yesterday to see it because it's a large scale project. This is we call it the aviation mural wall that is kind of bridges the student commons area into the aviation building there. And anyway, yes, it was there was an existing mural that I think predated a lot of the staff there. I think it had been in there
I
for
think
15
most of
years,
you,
or I mean, I mean, and so
It
that
was in
one
there from day one. I mean, 15
and
years ago.
so I know it had been a kind of a focal point where it is for tours and stuff. So I think the daunting thing about the task, besides the scale of it, was knowing what had been used for before. It was kind of an aviation history or timeline in Wichita. Not necessarily of the college itself, but it kind of led from like how the aviation industry progressed here and its importance to the area. And so they used it as a talking points for tours. So that was another level. It's like, okay, wait, we've got to, make sure we're doing this and, updating it. And that was, I mean, maybe a little daunting because there's a little extra part to that. But man, I was so excited to do this. That was probably been the most challenging projects for me here have been these large scale environmental graphics and stuff. And that's something I haven't had the chance to do. I've usually worked in print and digital more. So doing large scale things like this is been unique and I love it. I mean, it was neat to do something like that. We got to meet with, I think, the archivist and curator at the Aviation Museum to pull new images because we had some of the existing ones from the mural. That was neat to go on site there and work with them and just see their massive archive and have them pull these images and then take those and kind of fix the puzzle piece of how do we do this, and but then also working with our partners. Express, we have great vendors that we work with and leaning into their expertise. Like I know the design and I know how I want this to lay out, but what materials and techniques do you have? And so we would collaborate there, like, well, we can print on this, or we can do this scale, or we can attach it to the wall this way. And so that really was fun too. Again, collaboration is huge to me, and I love that. And that was neat to collaborate with a vendor and then to have them install it. And I think all of us were as proud just to see it all come to fruition because it was I think a feather in their cap too, because they made these amazing pieces and they were doing some new things and trying some new things. And then, to see it all get installed and come together was
Well,
really
I would just
rewarding.
encourage anybody that's watching this to take a trip down that hallway at NCAT and see this. It is remarkable.
Well, thanks.
It's really a beautifully done, creative, innovative depiction of Wichita and the air capital of the world,
Right. Thank you.
and the history
Yeah.
that has brought us from where we were in the 20s to where we are today
Right.
at WSU Tech, and it's just incredible. It's incredible how that industry has changed,
Oh,
and
yeah,
this is a
that's-
great depiction of that in a very visual way. So just kudos.
Well, thank you.
I had the
It's-
chance to see the first panel, and then I saw the whole thing
Yeah.
in one day's time, and I mean it's great work.
Team effort and a lot of collaboration, but it was fun. Yeah. Longer process, but it's one of those deals where, you want to do the research and put some of that time in on the front end to make it, and then, it means a lot. So
So WSU Tech runs pretty fast.
yes.
So, how does that pace influence the work that you do?
Um, it helps. I like with the history of advertising, that was fast too. So the pace wasn't a huge change for me.
Mhm.
It was more the scale and amount of some of the projects. So
Mhm.
I'm pretty good time manager, but usually we were always turning things around quick. Here we've got some larger scale projects like the mural that are spanning semesters and months. And we have other ones that are like we get it Monday and we need it by,
Tuesday.
yeah, if not end of day on something, so managing my time for that really like, okay, how do I want to keep my finger on this project that's going to take longer while also, you know, keeping everything else reined in on these smaller projects. And that's been a unique challenge for me, just managing multiple timelines that are different. Usually everything was always fast.
Yeah.
So I think that's been the most challenging thing. So it's helped me time management. And it forces you to focus. I would say that's a good thing with speed. For me, it helps eliminate overthinking. That goes back again to pencil or analog versus digital. I like to iterate some thumbnails first, and I get a good concept going. I feel like before I've gone, too far, and that helps overthink it because sometimes you can stare at a blank page on a computer. It's like a writer with,
Mhm.
and you
Writer's
just
block.
writer, and you just sit there. What am I going to do? And you're already choosing fonts and colors, or when you should be just what is the structure of this? What are
Mhm.
And so it helps you, forces you into that mode a little bit more. And the one that you and I've talked about before, I think is I know done is better than perfect, and that's always going to be my struggle. I am a perfectionist, and so I want it to just be as close to perfect as I can. But I've been around and done this long enough that I know that deadlines have to be met.
Yeah.
So that'll be the eternal struggle. But
That is an eternal struggle for a lot of us. What are you the most excited about as you look forward to the work that we're doing and
yeah,
where the college is going and how you contribute to that um, in your department?
right.
What are you most excited about?
I'm most excited about how much our team is growing twofold because it's exciting to have more people to collaborate and work with, but it's also very helpful because the workload has grown as the college has become more successful,
Mhm.
which there's a lot of projects to do, and it's nice to be able to divide and conquer. But I hopefully with that, I look forward to just having the opportunity to maybe pull a little bit of ideas from my work past to instill some more collaboration, brainstorming, and experimentation with some things. Not no fear of failure to try to just for idea generation in the beginning. I really want to because sometimes when we have events over the year that are annual events that occur all the time, we can like shift into that okay cruise control, and I don't want to do that. It's like okay, let's think outside the box or let's think differently this year on this project. So I look forward to as we add more people to the team to hope stoke that fire of creativity and that creative spark and maybe
Mhm.
make people I don't know just excited about that and they already are. We have a great team and they it's so fun to come to work every day and work with them. But yeah, I just always want to try new things, whether that's new technology or just new ideas or new solutions. So
Speaking of
anyway, yeah.
technology, how do you think technology is going to affect this
In our
world?
field, it's pretty huge. I mean, I feel like, and there's a lot of people on the fence. It's when I struggle with AI, and I'm currently taking some online courses, specifically how AI is utilized in the creative field,
Mhm.
in ideation and creating ideas, but also just in the creative timeline in general, like how we work, and because there's a lot of downside to that on the creative side because it's like is this taking other people's work? Is it helping you? Why did the design process is why did we arrive at this solution? Why did we pick that? And if you do it yourself for real, you know the reason behind every choice you made. And sometimes if we leave that, it's hard. So
Sure.
you're taking yourself out of the process a little bit, at least in the design side, which is the process that helps build you and make you a better designer. So I struggle with that. But on so far, like on the ideation and prototyping thing, it's very helpful because it's like the sketches and thumbnails. You can really put some things in and help or with like copywriting, making things more concise or having different tones. So yeah, it's huge and it's only going to change. I know one of the social media posts we just worked on the other day, I think they built a custom song or like theme song for a post, and that was helped by AI and those things. So it's amazing. It does help make our workflow a little quicker, but I also don't want that to be at the expense of our creativity.
Shawn, thanks for coming today and being with us. I want to just give another shout out to this mural. You got to see it. It's fabulous. It's a really great work. But thank you for all the work that you do to visually create in a really great way with a brand emphasis and putting to life the work that we do through visual. And I really appreciate what you all do. I've great respect for the work that you all do, and I'm looking forward to what comes next.
Excellent.
So thanks for being here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being at Tech Talk with WSU Tech. Till next time.